Be advised that depending on the make and model number of any given robot, there may be certain features in their makeup which predispose them to antisocial behavior. It is best to avoid these robots or to limit the time you are in contact with them. If a robot has locked its targeting system on you, remember the SKS rule. Stop, kneel, and surrender.
Hello, you're listening to the KAPOW Radio Show Network on Blog Talk Radio. Please visit kapowradioshow.com for further information.
Lord, Lord, now can't you see? Trouble and evil are surrounding me. Death and pain for the wicked world's fate, but the righteous and just shall live by the faith.
It's Freedom Friday because it's Friday, May 16th, 2014. Hello? Hello?
Hello? I'm here.
You just blow in like a tumbleweed?
Uh-huh. That's me.
Hey, you got a scripture?
I do. Psalm 37, and I'm going to read verses 1 through 9. It says, "Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity. For they shall soon be cut down like the grass, and wither as the green herb. Trust in the Lord and do good, so shalt thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed. Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart. Commit thy way unto the Lord, trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. And he shall bring forth thy righteousness as the light, and thy judgment as the noonday. Rest in the Lord, and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. Cease from anger and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil. For evildoers shall be cut off, but those that wait upon the Lord shall inherit the earth."
Does it say anywhere in that scripture when this is going to happen?
No.
Because I can't wait. It's...
You must patiently wait.
I need the wicked to be cut off like yesterday. Yeah. I need it to happen like ASAP, because I am really like at my wit's end. You know what I mean? It's just like I can't. It's like I can hardly deal with it no more.
It's tough. Especially when you do see them prospering.
Oh yeah,
and getting away with evil.
Well, sure, and it's scriptural. I know that you're going to see the wicked prosper and stuff like that. But it's still hard to see.
It is. It's difficult.
Sit back and watch that. You know,
it is difficult.
No, I'm getting tired of sitting around punching myself in the head, and that's what I feel like I'm doing. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I can't wait. So it's just it's evil. Let's start with the first evil idiot. We'll play a little clip from a news source. Hey, you know what? Let's play the clip now.
All right.
The Cannibal Cop has an ironic new job in jail, it seems. Former NYPD officer Valet has become quite the chef, apparently, behind bars. According to the Daily News, he cooks breakfast and lunch for fellow inmates every day. In fact, according to reports, his pizza is so good the guards are even eating it. Even back in 2012, Valet was convicted of conspiring to kidnap, murder, cook, and eat about 100 women. His lawyers are trying to get him an appeal.
Yeah, this guy's a sick freak. He's a one sick puppy. I remember we reported on him back in 2012.
Yes.
And this guy had some kind of weird website called, Eat Women and Cook Them Fetish.com.
Yeah.
And he was involved with a couple other guys. Mm-hmm. In fact, he conspired to kidnap and torture and rape and cook his own wife. Yes. And she's the one, if I recall correctly, that found his weird fetish porn on his computer and then turned him in.
Thank God.
This guy was a cop.
Yeah.
back in my day, we all had to go through psychological profiles, and a lot of guys I knew that were trying to become cops didn't make it because they couldn't pass a psych.
Yeah, but see, nowadays they've lowered the standard because they can't find anybody.
Well, anybody in their right mind wouldn't want to go into that profession. Are you crazy? Why would you want to become a cop and hated by everybody else and get shot at? I mean, it's
the most thankless job, really.
Well, yeah, it's a stupid job because your hands are tied to do anything anyway. But so they have to lower their standards, and so they get all these idiots now, and morons, and the reason why they want to do that is because they're never mind. This guy, this guy's one sick dude.
Yes,
and what's irritating is that he's waiting for his appeal or something like that while he's in jail, so they make him a cook.
Yeah.
Here's this guy who wanted to cook women and eat them and get off. And now he's cooking the best pizza in town.
Yeah,
I'd be a little suspicious
about him and stuff like that. This whole thing irritates me. The attorneys that are working for him irritates me.
Yeah.
The prison guards irritate me because they're praising him for his pizza cooking.
Exactly. He apparently he was convicted in a federal court about a year ago, but he's yet to been sentenced, because the judge is deciding whether to grant him a new trial. So here he is kind of sitting on ice in this correctional facility. But he makes breakfast and lunch for the inmates, and even the guards are eating it.
Yeah.
His mother, Elizabeth, she says, he makes the best pizza. He makes it so good that even the guards eat it. He has mastered making pizza.
And how difficult is that?
Oh, well, you put some human skin and some feces on there and urinate in it and mix it in a big bowl and you feed it to the guards. How fun is that? Anyway, his mama is hopeful that his name is Valet, will be granted a retrial and a second chance to prove his innocence.
Yeah, well,
he was part of a ring that wanted to kidnap, eat and cook his wife.
Yeah. Obviously,
and one other 100 women. I think he even did the act to go plan it out.
Yeah, he did.
He had the names and
he had a list.
Yeah. The mom says, "I'm at my wit's end. He's not the monster they portray him to be. He's innocent. We want to set the record straight." Well, your son is a freak. He's a freak, and you're a freak. You know how he got inspired by doing this? The 1994 film, The Mask. That's where his issues originated.
Wow.
The pattern of arousal, so you get sexually aroused by this.
Geez.
The pattern of arousal appears to have originated with a scene in the movie The Mask in which Cameron Diaz pretends to be abducted and bound. And that's where he went bozo.
Wow.
From watching a scene in the movie and went, they wrote it, and then they said it, and then they acted it, and then I'm going to do it.
See? It starts in a thought, doesn't it?
Freaking demons. I am so sick of demons. When is the wicked going to be annihilated?
Soon.
Can't be soon enough. It's just
I hear you, man.
Why am I talking about this stuff every week? I don't get it. I don't even know what I'm doing here.
Decapitated birds found on streets in the Vegas neighborhood.
Well, it's Vegas. What do you expect? If people lose their gambling, they lose at casinos, they chop their heads off. Is that what this is about?
Not really.
What?
It says here, residents in the valley's east side are disgusted by what they've been finding in the streets. Piles of beheaded birds are being dumped in seemingly random locations throughout the area. Some gal by the name of Helen Arcega, anyways, she's a thrift shop owner and has found several dead birds in the alley behind her store. And she says, "Oh, where did these come from? Oh, good Lord, it stinks.
Wow.
And street cleaner Ryan Roskins, he's been seeing many of the birds as he makes his rounds. He said, the first time I saw it, it was a large rooster. Everything else is there. The feet, the feathers, it's just decapitated. He has a theory for the increase in gruesome finds. He says that he actually thinks it must be voodoo.
Well, I think he's right. A West African priest tells the station that may not be the case. He says people practicing the religion of Santeria or IFA, IFA.
I have never heard of that one.
They use animal sacrifices like chickens, pigeons, or goats as a means of protection or as a way to cleanse the body. He says they might be wiping themselves with the bird, letting the blood, and then having to discard the body. That's what this one priest said. He says where the bird's body is dumped depends on what the spirit or deity is calling out for. It's just like a first communion, just like a baptism. All of these ways are ways humans use to communicate. But like for business owners there, the rituals can't stop soon enough because they're having decapitated dead birds showing up.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah. Well, what it is...
And it must be a lot for it to stink.
Yeah. This whole country is a cesspool now. It's just the Americans, people in America, it's just a cesspool. Yeah. It's just a pagan place.
It's debauchery.
Yeah, it's morally corrupt. It's over.
Yes.
I love listening to these people going, you gotta pray for America. Pray for America because we're on a spin. What? Where have you been? It's over. The end game is here. There is no recovering.
Nope.
What, you going to pray for Obama and he's going to get on his knees and repent and get saved and then bring in Christendom? Are you out of your brain?
Yep. Nope,
come on. The man has sold himself out to Satan. He is a Satanist. He's a homosexual. He's a sinner. He's a pagan. He's all of that. And they do that because they reject Yahweh and it ain't going to turn around.
Nope. I hear you, brother.
No more than Nero who turned around. What's the last scripture that you read in the New Testament where Paul was saying, pray for Nero, pray for the emperor?
I don't think I ever read that one.
You know who was praying for the emperor? The apostate Jews. They were praying for the emperor because Rome required worship of the emperor. And the Jews say, we can't do that because we're Pharisees and Sadducees, but what we'll do is offer sacrifice in the emperor's behalf. What they were doing is the same thing as sacrificing to the emperor. Jesus called Herod that sly fox.
Yep,
and Jesus says that sly fox could go kiss my robe if he wants to see miracles and know what's going on.
Yep.
Okay, there's my rant. This place is a cesspool, and now you got Santeria on the streets, you got voodoo on the streets, you got paganism everywhere, you got a failed church, you got a failed Christianity. Get over it. It's over.
It's over.
And it can't be soon enough at that scripture you said that it ends.
Amen.
Because if it doesn't end, if the days aren't shortened, there's not going to be anyone left.
That's right.
Including me and including you, because I'm almost at my breaking point.
Yep.
I can't take it anymore.
Yep.
It's so annoying. NBC orders Ellen DeGeneres, One Big Happy, Will Ferrell comedies, Mission Control, and Bad Judge to series. Okay. Oh, how exciting is this?
Yeah. Well, NBC is adding to its series orders, picking up lesbian-themed comedy, which is One Big Happy.
One Big Happy Lesbo.
And go figure, right? And Kristen Ritter space comedy, Mission Control, to the series.
We don't care about that. We just care about the Lesbo one. Happy, what's it called? One Big Happy.
One Big Happy.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird written article.
Yep.
But anyway.
But you see now that's the agenda, to bring that into your home. I mean, it's already been there.
Yep.
But now it's even more
It's produced
escalated.
by this Ellen freak. It's a comedy. Ha ha ha! Which co-stars Nick Zano, should be Zany, in Kelly Brook. It marks the third year in a row that NBC has picked up an LGBT-themed half hour. If you don't know what that means lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, freakazoid. Following the cancellations of Sean Saves the World and The New Normal. What? So anyway, turn on your TV and watch some lesbos kissing and patting each other on the head. I think that'll be fine. And then wonder, once you let your kids watch this, and then you fill your brain with all this
crap,
just junk, then sit back and wonder why chlamydia is setting U.S. record for most cases of reportable disease. How does everybody
head scratcher.
How is everybody getting chlamydia? And then they're going to go, Mom, Dad, Mom, I got to be chlamydia.
Exactly. Well, it says here there's over 1 million new cases reported at the Center of Disease Control.
Wow.
In 2012. It says it's the largest number of reported cases for any notifiable disease in the United States. And that's what CDC spokeswoman said.
A list of national notifiable infectious conditions that are reported by 57 state and territorial jurisdictions can be found on their website. And what they're saying is that approximately 110 million Amerifreakans,
interesting number,
are doing the dirty. They're doing the bump, and more than a third of the which is more than a third of the entire U.S. population.
Wow.
Are infected with a sexually transmitted disease, or what we like to call an STD.
Which is interesting because that has been since 2008.
Well, can you imagine what it is now?
Yep.
Because it's just gotten more sexified. More and more sexified. 2008, we didn't even have Miley Cyrus and all those other people acting up. Now we do. Wow.
Because the portals have opened.
The portals have opened. They've been open. It's over. It's time to look up, and your redemption should be drawing near.
Amen. So the CDC estimates that nearly 20 million new STD cases are contracted annually, including gonorrhea, HIV, and primary and secondary syphilis. Nice.
Well,
so you go to the club, and you're dancing, and you meet somebody, and you bring somebody home, or even in college, school, anywhere, grocery store. Oh, and these websites now too. Or
you get rough. You get drunk and somebody slips a roofie in your drink, and then you get boinked.
You're
that
swapping
way.
spit and stuff like that with these people that are that got little germs.
And then you go home and you go, I got chlamydia.
Yeah,
I got chlamydia.
And I tell you what, so this disease chlamydia, I guess it's really rampant with men now too. And some of the thing is discharge, painful urination, itching, swelling of the testicles.
Wow.
And with women, they also have discharge, painful periods, and having pain during sex, urinating, itching. So it's really nasty.
How fun.
Yeah.
How fun is that?
I don't think it's worth...
But here's the deal. NBC is not doing a series. They're not picking up a writer or a series that are saying, here's the dangers of this kind of lifestyle.
Of course not.
No, let's be LGBT, queer. Let's do all of this. AIDS, HIV, STDs, chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis. Let's have a good time.
Yeah, but we won't mention that stuff. But isn't that like Satan, though?
Yeah.
He's always dangling the carrot in front of you.
Yeah.
And he's giving all the positive, fun stuff. He makes it fun and enjoyable, but he doesn't tell you what the ramifications are at the end.
Exactly. It was the name of her show, The Happy Place, or The Happy, whatever, Well, then they should do one on this called The Sad Place. This is what happens after you do your whole gay thing or your heterosexual thing, whatever you want to do. You just debauch. You live in a debauchery.
Yeah.
And then when you get done, you can sit around and scratch your swollen testicles, and have painful periods and
what
whatever
makes
you want to
me
do.
Upset too is that when husbands and wives go out outside of their marriage and do the nasty with somebody else, and then they bring it home.
Yes.
See?
That ain't
and
good.
now you've infected your family, your wife, or your husband. It's not good.
Or, in today's case, your dog.
Oh.
And your parakeet.
Oh.
And your computer.
Eek.
Did you get the... My computer has chlamydia! We talked about the USB reports last week.
Yes, we did.
It cost the nation nearly $16 billion in health care. And that's why we need Obamacare to pay for this nonsense. Right?
But it's probably not even covered under Obamacare.
Nothing is.
You guys sit with your disease.
Yeah, nothing is.
Sorry,
but we'll cover prenatal dental. Oh, you're covered 100% for prenatal dental.
Yeah.
But my fetus doesn't even have teeth. Well, you're covered. You're covered in case they grow some teeth. Young people age 15 to 24 account for 50% of all new venereal infections. 50%.
Wow.
Although they only make up 25% of the sexually active population. You know, the other thing that just irritates me too, all these old people running around taking Cialis and Viagra.
Yeah.
What are you, 80 years old and you're just a horn dog? Going, I'm going to please my 82-year-old spouse with a little Viagra. You are a sick old prune face. Stop already.
Yep.
Good night. Oh, well, STDs, as you know, are a hidden epidemic. Enormous health and economic consequences here in the United States. Enormous. Isn't that something? Yep. That includes the herpes, too.
Oh, my goodness.
Women aged 20 to 24 have the highest chlamydia infection.
Gross.
More than twice the rate as the men of the same age. I think the thing is, it's harder to detect in men.
Yeah.
It's hard to detect in them because they can have it, but they don't. You have to have it really bad before you have symptoms. Wow. Anyway, so what do? You give them antibiotics. For the first time since nationwide reporting of chlamydia began, the rate in women did not increase in 2012. Wow! While the rate in men increased 3.2.
Interesting.
I wonder why? Because they're having more sex with each other. Blacks were 6.8 times more likely than whites to contract the disease.
Wow.
Well, that's racist.
Yep.
That's a racist statement. Chlamydia is a bacterial infection that can be treated with antibiotics. However, it's often asymptomatic. That's what I said.
You did.
And it's untreated. You don't know what's going on, and so you're just spreading around. Mississippi has the highest rate. Chlamydia. Wow. And then next is New Hampshire.
Wow.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. New Hampshire had the lowest rate.
Oh, I see. Okay.
That's where the Kennedys are from. Don't ask me how you get chlamydia. Ask you how chlamydia gets you.
Or how I can give you chlamydia.
Can you blast the mashed potatoes? We sure miss Edward at the dinner table. Yeah, chlamydia. Stupid Kennedys. Oh, man. Anyway, should we go on? Nah, we're done.
It's disgusting.
It's disgusting. But anyway, Ellen DeGeneres, whatever her name is, Freakazoid, is producing lesbo shows. And
yeah, why not?
We have this. Okay.
What is this one? This one's that gross one, too.
I'm going to cuss on this one.
Ooh.
I cannot stand this
beep beep
thing. I'm telling you right now. And don't anybody put a little Facebook thing or write me an email. Go, we got to pray for this person. You pray for this person. I'm not praying for this person. I don't have time to pray for people who are reprobate and I've already made a decision. Is that clear? Do not put that on me because I will slap you. I'm not in the mood. I hate wicked and I hate wicked in people, period. Eurovision 2014 bearded Austrian drag queen Conchita wins. That's a great name.
Isn't
Worst.
it? Yes.
It's It's W-U-R-S-T, but it should be W-O-R-S-T. Because he, and it's not a she, it's a he. But this article keeps referring to it as a she, but it's a male.
Yes, it is.
It's a male. Conchita Wurst wins with a whopping score of 290. Well, the UK trails behind in 17th place. You know why? Because it was a female, a real female, competing against this freak.
Yep.
If you don't know what we're talking about, he's the dude that has a beard. He's a drag queen with long hair and floppy eyelashes and perfect makeup, and he has a beard. And it is
Full
just
beard.
Full beard, and it's absolutely freakingly disgusting. And what's disgusting is the worship that is put on this guy.
This thing, yeah.
They're all giving him flowers, and this is the biggest thing since Chlamydia. Conchita Wurst, that's not even his real name. He has another name. That's his stage name.
Yes.
He won the Eurovision Song Contest 2014. Oh, yay! What an accomplishment. With a score of 290 over a grandiose James Bond theme-like ballad. Guess what the name of the ballad was?
Rise Like a Phoenix.
Isn't that interesting? That he would sing this song, Rise Like a Phoenix,
Yep.
and win your gay,
it's very
transgender...
symbolic.
Yeah, it is.
It's very significant. Very.
He sang this before a TV audience of around 180 million people in 45 countries.
Wow.
Well, you know what? In the last 10 days, we had about 2,000 listeners on KAPOW. So we're close. I have a beard. I just don't wear a dress and have eye makeup and flappy things. And I don't have chlamydia.
No.
I don't have chlamydia.
Thank God for that.
I feel like I'm out of the loop.
It's disgusting. The pictures, ugh.
Well, the UK hopeful Molly Smitten Downs. What a great name. Molly was smitten down. Well, wouldn't you change your name to another stage name? Like Molly Hatchet or something, you know? Molly Smitten Downs. She came in 17th place with a score of just 40 with her song Children of the Universe. Well,
See, but that's sad, though, because you think about it. If this guy was eliminated, she would have won.
Yeah, but who wants to see a female sing a female song? Everybody wants to see a freak.
Saying.
No, you're right. And I bet she probably had talent.
Yeah, I'm sure she did.
Here's the other thing it says. It says, Conchita says, this is dedicated to everyone who believes in a future of peace and freedom.
Oh, please.
A tearful Conchita said, as she, I hate that, it's a he, accepted the trophy from Denmark Emiel de Forest, who won the contest last year. Here's what he says. We are unity and are unstoppable.
See, I don't like that word.
You have heard, Ms. KAPOW has pointed out that this word unstoppable keeps popping up for the last year.
Yep.
Over and over and over again. Unstoppable, unstoppable, unstoppable.
And I noticed that word in Kirk Cameron's movie, Unstoppable.
Yeah, unstoppable. But we have seen it in the secular world over and over again. Unstoppable.
I don't like that word now.
Yeah. Here's what Conchita says. Should I do a Conchita voice?
Yes, please.
Here's Conchita voice. Here's my drag queen Conchita voice. Now, don't freak out, people, because I don't have chlamydia. But it's going to sound like I do. For me, my dream came true. But for our society, I just showed me that there are people out there who want to go into the future and go on. You know, not stepping back or thinking in the past.
Really good.
That's how she sounds. It sounds. Austrian. I'm sorry, she's not Australian. She's Austrian. Drag queen Conchita, the alter ego of 25-year-old Thomas Newworth, gave one of the most glamorous and sultry performances of the contest. It was held in Copenhagen, Denmark. The singer, who sported a full beard, smoldered like a Bond girl in a gold-embellished fishtail gown.
Now, I wonder how many James Bond's guys would kiss that.
Oh, they would, Jerry.
Oh, disgusting.
Well, she's gonna. This thing's gonna be in the next Bond movie, and what's his face is gonna have to. He's gonna be like a two guys in two beards going going at it on the big screen. I got chlamydia.
Nasty.
Walking onto the stage in front of a smoky backdrop. It gave a powerful performance of its song Rise Like a Phoenix.
Wow.
The look was set off by diamond earrings, while it also wore a red lipstick, wore its long hair in waves, and defined its eyes in heavy black eyeliner. You should see the pictures of this thing.
Disgusting.
You gotta, because it looks like a dude, because it is a dude with a beard, with long curly hair and makeup and earrings.
It's disgusting. Really, it is. It just. Oh my goodness! And then you see him hugging his what do you call it? Yeah.
His little idol prize that he got.
His trophy.
Yeah, shaped like a
and it's
microphone.
just disgusting.
Conchita.
Nuts.
Oh my Lord, why would I care? Oh, and now in Eurovision we can see this, and we can praise their decision, right, to award this to a freak. But then at the same time we can sit back here in America and go, why is there a child porn epidemic among the Pentagon
Why?
and the U.S. government? Why? Why, Miss KAPOW, is there chlamydia running rampant around the Pentagon?
Well, that's our next story, is it not?
Exactly. So after you watch the Happy Place or whatever it is, One Happy
Place.
One Happy Chlamydia Place.
Yep.
1, 2, 3 Chlamydia Drive. Once you watch that, and you watch Conchita, then you can complain about the porn, and of course the STDs that are taking over the country. Yeah,
while you're having pizza.
Ooh.
Cannibal pizza.
Cannibal pizza. You know, that sounds kind of good if it had some pepperoni on it. And cheese.
Everything goes good with cheese.
Everything goes cheese. Cheese is
the bomb.
Well, I did research, extensive research. The manna that was from heaven was little blocks of Colby cheese. I saw it on YouTube. It has to be true. Last week, the IRS decided to award Bradley Birkenfield his $104 million share for helping bust UBS Bank. Senator Charles Grassley and his staff were instrumental. Senator Grassley vowed to delay pending Department of Treasury nominations if the IRS whistleblower program, he wrote the legislation in 2006, continued to be mismanaged.
Well, good for him.
Okay? This powerful voice from Iowa has been a beacon in the storm during an Obama administration that has targeted whistleblowers and prevented accountability as never before. So far, so good, right? We like Grassley so far. But the Pentagon is also under Senator Grassley's fire for failing to examine 1,700 of the 5,200 reports of employees doing child porn.
Shame for shame for shame.
The Pentagon claimed, I love this, quote, it wasn't a priority.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
The quote. I'm sorry. My people are using government computers at government work in the Pentagon. I was going to say it. Anyway, they're doing child porn.
Oh.
And you know what? It's just not a priority. I'm sorry. I wish... all of my guys are sitting at the desk and they're itching their swollen testicles. And they got, chlamydia. But, it's just not a priority.
Yeah, sorry.
Because, I don't know. It's just we got other things to do.
Yeah.
We're chasing...
And these children are not really in harm in any way.
Well, no, because it's just on the computer.
Yeah, exactly.
Senator Grassley and his staff have made it They've made it a priority. The closed investigation into widespread use of child porn at the Pentagon is now reopened. Thank you, Sinister Grassley. Sinister. I like that.
I like it.
That was a Freudian slip.
Yeah,
but you know
it was
what? That
very
was
apropos, wasn't it?
Sinister Charles Grassley. He's a Republican from Iowa. There is a national crisis of federal employees engaged in the child porn industry.
Disgusting.
And a related epidemic at the state level. I've documented 2 states, Vermont and Maine, and appear to be running state-protected child trafficking rings with evidence of cops, judges, lawyers, clergy, and government employees covering for each other. This kind of racketeering creates powerful and extremely profitable pedophile rings.
Dear Jesus.
You know what? This is absolutely true. This, I don't read this and go, oh, he's crazy, conspiracy.
No.
It's absolutely true. You remember the kid I used to supervise? I was a sergeant.
Yes.
In the police department. We had family services, and I was a sergeant over juvenile investigations.
Yep.
You know, we had the schools and juvenile crime, and I had a real good cop working for me. I loved this guy. He was really, really mature. He knew how to talk to people. He didn't get in trouble, and he did a good job. And he worked at the schools. He'd go on vacation, be gone, blah, blah, blah. Well, he was a single dude, and I remember talking to him, you know, about women, and he was like this teacher. He would like, oh yeah, and he'd like, why are you all dressed up today, Adam? You know, and you got a tie. Well, so he's like a regular dude. Well, when he was out on vacation, he was part of a huge child porn ring, and he would crossing state lines and having sex with little kids, and then they were filming it. And
oh dear God!
Part of this big thing, and he was like the nicest man, really nice guy. I knew his dad. Anyway, big investigation, found all kinds of pictures and child porn on his computers. And now he's in federal prison because he crossed state lines to do it. He was a guy who used to work for me as a cop. So
I remember when that story came out, it was devastating.
Oh, yeah.
It was devastating.
Devastating for all of us. And his dad, it was so embarrassing. Oh, yeah.
I really felt bad for the father.
Yeah, me too.
I too.
Me too. So I absolutely believe this to be true. They are
Disgusting.
Big, powerful pedophile rings. There's a lot of money in this. Money drives a crime.
Yep.
It's estimated that a criminal willing to molest a child in front of a live webcam can earn $1,000 a night.
Jesus.
In Kittery, Maine, at the Danish Health Club, one bus yielded $6.1 million in door fees over a 5-year period, with prostitutes earning $12 million. The pimp's earnings were not reported. The doorman was a retired police officer whose wife worked in back. This bust happened because of one hard-working IRS agent, Rod Guri. An estimated $1.4 billion has been collected by the IRS whistleblower program. But do you understand who's busting these guys? It's because they're not paying taxes. The government, Obama's administration, does not have an active department going after these guys.
No.
They don't care. What they care about is that they get their pound of flesh.
Exactly.
If you pay your taxes, you can get away with anything. If you don't pay your taxes, you got these goons after you.
Exactly.
So they're not busting them because child porn is wrong to them. They're busting them because they're not paying taxes.
Yeah, they want a piece of the pie.
Yeah. The Department of Justice Child Exploitation and Obscenities Unit has been, by many accounts, totally disabled under U.S. Attorney General
Eric Holder.
Go figure. Mr. Holder even refused to prosecute his own assistant, United States attorney, caught doing child porn on DOJ computers. The IRS wants 4,000 new agents and a $300 million budget to enforce Obamacare. Instead, these resources should be allocated entirely for an IRS child exploitation and trafficking unit. But you know what? It's got to be at the White House all the way down.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
A lot of money and a lot of
See, it's that
debauchery.
Mammon thing again. The worship of Mammon.
Yep. You know what, Mammon, I've done research. I saw this on YouTube, so it has to be true. I Googled it. It has to be true. The Mammon idol looked like a big chlamydia bacterium.
Oh, yeah, you're probably true. You're probably right.
No. That's why no one really recognized it.
Now, this next story is from the Daily Sheeple. Outraged Albuquerque citizens demand arrest of police chief. Now, we saw this video.
Oh, this is a great video. This was at City Council.
Mm-hmm.
And this Albuquerque Police Department. Now, I watched 2 or 3 videos of them shooting and killing people.
Yeah.
And I told Ms. KAPOW, I used to investigate shootings and cops, and, I had to do investigations on use of force and misconduct and things. And I said, I'm going to watch this because there's always 2 sides to every story.
Right.
So I'm not so quick to just jump on bad cop, because there's always another side.
That's true.
So I'm going to watch this and see if it was a bad shooting, to see if I, as a police administrator, would go, holy moly, we in trouble. And I watched in both films that I saw, I had that reaction. There was no reason to kill these people. They're shooting people in the back.
Yep. That one video of the homeless man.
Yeah. Unarmed homeless man.
Yes.
That talked, he was the only one that talked sense. And he goes, I don't want you to hurt me, and I don't want to hurt you. So I'm going to get up and walk away.
Yep.
And he wasn't doing anything but camping out on Sandia Mountains. He was homeless. And he was surrounded by 8 of these goons with
a police dog.
Police dogs, all this stuff. And he was real calm. I'm just going to walk away. And if you keep your promise, and they promised him, if you get up, walk, we're not going to hurt you. And as he tried to get up and walk away, they sucked the dog on him. And he stood his ground. And then when he got distracted, they shot him
in the back
with these pellets, and he went down the ground. And
it was disgusting.
He died, but they didn't even do medical aid on him or anything. They were too busy searching his camp.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of goons. And then this other cop was chasing some dude, calling him bro and dude. Bro, dude, stop. And he was holding his gun, because they have to wear little lapel cameras. He was holding his gun just like those gangsters do in the movies and in the videos. He wasn't even holding it correctly, like a person that would be trained in firearms. He was holding it sideways, like a gangster, calling this guy dude and bro. And the dude ran. The dude had a gun, but he tossed it, and you could see it being tossed. And he ran, and the dude kept shooting him, shot him in the back.
Nice.
Well, he was in a public street. People driving around.
Yep.
Anyway, Albuquerque PD out of control. The citizens have had enough. They've killed, I don't know how many people since 2010.
Yep.
They've killed just...
But I got to tell you what, they have to get rid of not only the chief of police, but the mayor.
Oh, yeah. They're all...
And the whole council.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a mayor-council government or just a mayor government or whatever. Or, city... I'm sorry, a city manager. Because it doesn't seem like they have a city manager. The mayor's the one that's hiring the chief. And, there's cronyism.
Though.
Oh, yeah. Well, we've seen a video of the past mayor, and he was a total chlamydia moron, wasn't he? I'm going to do things my way. This is a new sheriff in town. Really?
Yeah.
That's your answer to the media? I'm going to do things my way. Well, he's no longer around.
Thank God.
Well, Albuquerque citizens, Albuquerque, USA, continue to demonstrate that they have had enough of their increasingly violent police department. The Albuquerque Police Department has had its acronym changed by residents to mean another person dead instead of APD, another person dead. The long-standing dissatisfaction reached a new level following the blatant execution of a homeless man that was passed off as justified by Police Chief Gordon Eden, who looks like one of those Nazi star children that grew up. He does. Looks like a Nazi. You can see the video for yourself. You can click on it and see it. And see if proper force was used for illegal camping. The APD is so out of control that even the morally bankrupt Department of Justice was forced into a 2-year investigation that resulted in them acknowledging the systematic use of violence and a laundry list of general misconduct. Now, I retired from the Riverside Police Department, and we were under what you call a stipulated judgment from the DOJ because our department had the same problem. They were a bunch of Yahoo cowboys going out and shooting people I'm not going to go into the story, but they shot an unarmed black female sitting in a car, 4 white police officers, right? And it became a big protest thing. Jesse Jackson, Maxine Waters, Al Sharpton, they were all protesting in the city of Riverside. And what happened is these 4 white guys got fired, and it took on life of its own. But what the DOJ stepped in and put the department under stipulated judgment to control it. So I understand when this happens, that means your police department is out of control. Out of control. And that's where these guys are at. Albuquerque citizens already have taken to the streets, but every time they take to the streets, the police disperse them with tear gas.
Nice.
But they went to a city council thing and just raised hell and took over the meeting. They
did. It was amazing.
And said, this is our meeting, not yours. And they were very angry, and they tried to serve the chief with a citizen's arrest.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, so anyway, it's collapsed. So don't tell me there's revival around the corner in America, and that the church is doing revival, and that these politicians are going to come to the Lord, and God's going to. It's a Christian nation. I don't want to hear any of that nonsense.
Yeah.
Because we've been in the toilet bowl, spinning, flushing for the last few years. We are down the drain now. It's the end game. It's over.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the time when it's like, hey, there's no Freedom Friday this Friday because it's done.
Yep.
One way or another. Because it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's out of control. Well, Mr. KAPOW, you're just being negative.
What about this one? Warren Buffett has given $1.2 billion to abortion groups.
Yeah. He's something like the 3rd richest
he's a
chlamydia freak in the world. In the world. You know what? We all have our opinions and our theories of why abortion is pushed. You usually follow the money trail. Has something to do with stem cells or body parts, or who knows. We know that people are drinking Pepsi or drinking stuff from aborted fetus stem cells and taste receptors. All that stuff. But really, you got to ask yourself, why would the 3rd richest man in the entire planet, Warren Buffett, give over $1 billion to abortion groups? I mean, why? What? He's not going to do anything that's not chasing the money serpent trail. So it has something to do with money.
Yep.
But what?
Yeah. What is it?
Why would you be that interested in killing fetuses? And I don't have the answer to that. But there's something. Maybe somebody out there knows. May 13th, 2014 marks 1 year since Philadelphia abortion Dr. Kimmett Gosnell was convicted of first-degree murder in the deaths of 3 babies who were delivered alive and then killed with scissors at his grimy House of Horrors clinic. Gosnell instantly became the face of abortion in the pro-life community. Horrible thing, right?
But there's another, more recognizable face pushing abortion in the United States. Liberal billionaire Warren Buffett, the so-called Oracle of Omaha, has donated more than $1.2 billion to abortion organizations from 2001 to 2012.
$1.2 billion. Why? That's equal to the cost of roughly 2.7 million first trimester abortions, more than twice the number of abortions that occur an entire year in the United States. Unlike Gosnell, however, everything Buffett has done has been entirely legal. But Buffett does share something else in common with the abortionist. Both their stories have been largely unreported.
Wow. Imagine the equivalent of the lives of 2.7 million children snuffed out to serve the whims of the 3rd richest man in the world. Most people would say that's a story. Most likely several. Oh no, supporters will cry. Planned Parenthood, NARAL, and other similar groups do more than just abortions, and Buffett does more than fund the abortion industry. But that is the core of his agenda, just as it is theirs.
Well, he has a charity. It's called the Susan Thomas Buffett Foundation. It's named after his first wife, who was an abortion supporter. Its domestic operation is led by pro-abortion activist Tracy Witz. She's a PhD. Witz has worked at Planned Parenthood, the Bixby Center for Global Reproductive Health, and once defined abortion as, quote, a moral action undertaken by moral agents.
Wow.
End of quote. But none of that is obvious from the charity's website. It includes information on college scholarships and the Alice Buffett Outstanding Teacher Award. Neither that award for outstanding Omaha public school teachers nor the scholarships even hint at the darker directive of the massive charity. The site itself seems deliberately insular. Copyrights on the page read 2008. The charity makes it clear the Buffett Foundation responds to questions about college scholarships and the Alice Buffett Outstanding Teacher Award only. We will not respond to any other inquiries. Leave us alone. No wonder. No wonder. They wouldn't want to damage Warren Buffett's media profile, would they? By letting half of America know that the profile that he's spending billions on abortions? Oh, don't let the American media know that, right?
That's right.
Since 2001, this is incredible, there has only been one mention, a tangential mention, of Buffett's support for abortion on the broadcast TV network morning and evening news shows. It wasn't even really about Buffett. It was the NBC Nightly News obituary for his wife, and it included her support for Planned Parenthood. That's out of at least 545 appearances or mentions of the Berkshire Hathaway chairman and CEO. Isn't that something?
Wow. Nor did the media explain how Buffett has given $289 million to Planned Parenthood since 2001. Buffett was never mentioned as a top donor when Live Action embarrassed Planned Parenthood with 2 videos of staffers assisting a live action actor with a possible sex selection abortion.
Wow.
That wasn't the only embarrassment for the abortion provider. In early 2011, Live Action's Lila Rose trained investigators to pose as a pimp and a prostitute running a sex ring composed of 14 and 15-year-olds. Planned Parenthood workers were quite willing to help provide underage abortions. And no mention of Buffett's billions then either. Instead, we get grandfatherly Buffett, tax-hiking Buffett, investor Buffett as a reliable liberal businessman, journalist, to turn him as a source for almost any commentary. It's easy to understand if you give $1,000 to a ballot initiative to defend traditional marriage, that's controversial. If you give $1.25 billion to promote abortion, journalists who are widely pro-abortion don't dare see any controversy. But now the information is out there. Watch as the supposedly neutral news media does its best to hide it. That's sinister. That's evil.
Yeah.
Talk about another old fart, evil fart. The Pope. He says baptism is for everyone, including aliens, little green alien men.
Specifically Martians.
Yep.
How can that be?
Well, it says here that Pope Francis has declared everyone has a right to be baptized, even aliens, should they come knocking on the church's door. Christians cannot close the door to all those who seek baptism, even if they are green men with a long nose and big ears like children draw. And that's exactly what the Pope said.
Mm-hmm.
If tomorrow, for example, he says, an expedition of Martians arrives and some of them come to us, and if one of them says, "Me, I want to be baptized," what would happen? Francis said in another display of his lively sense of humor. The Argentine pontiff, known for his down-to-earth style, has often used colorful and humorous expressions to make his points on the direction of the Roman Catholic Church.
So he's just kidding. He's just joking. Just joking.
On baptism, Francis has stressed that it should not be refused, especially to children whose parents may be breaking church rules, such as living together as an unmarried couple.
Just baptize everybody. Everybody's going to go to heaven.
Well, that's what he says, as long as you don't compromise your conscience.
Oh, yes, exactly. And aliens come down, green people with big noses and big ears.
So if you're going to baptize an alien, a Martian,
yeah,
you should baptize everybody else.
Even people with chlamydia.
Mm-hmm. The unrepentant.
Yeah, the unrepentant. Actually, I'm being snarky, but yeah, the unrepentant. People living in sin. You see, it's the church in all. I don't care if they're the Catholic Church, the Evangelical Church, the Protestant Church. I don't care if you're Episcopalian or Assembly of God. In general, it has failed.
It has failed.
It's a failed experiment. It's a business experiment that has failed. Mm-hmm. We wouldn't be having the Church of Bayism right now.
Mm-mm. And that's because they put Mammon before God.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Idolicide. Mm-hmm. Gotta kill the idols. Ooh, there's a little hint there about what's coming out.
I like it. You're very clever.
You say, they could say, what? What's coming out? What is Idolicide? Idolicide is a brand new ebook from the KAPOWs.
Amen.
It's coming out, and when it comes out, I'll let you know. But at first, I got to get over my anger issues.
Fish rained down on Sri Lanka village.
You know what? There's a lot of weird stuff that's happened in Sri Lanka village. Mm-hmm. A lot of crazy stuff over the years. What is up with that? I have a feeling it has to do with the 1,000 or so monkey gods they worship over there. Well,
the villagers said they have been surprised and delighted by an unusual rainfall of small fish.
You know why they're delighted? Because they ate it. Well, I mean, if you're living in that village and you're hungry and they're edible fish, I guess it's a blessing for you.
Yeah.
I just think, I don't know.
And it's free of radiation.
It depends where it came from, I guess. I don't know. I mean,
well, if they think it came from the sky, then...
I mean, I can go outside right now and find a couple of lizards on the wall and go, oh, what a blessing, and smack them and then fry them up and eat some lizard. But I don't. But I don't know. That's maybe because I have a Stater Brothers or something close by. That's probably why. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt eating it.
Well, let's read on here. The edible fish fell during a storm and are believed to have been lifted out of a river during a strong wind.
Yeah. Now, how often does it happen? People, I am so sick of these of lame excuses. If you don't know, you don't know. Mm-mm. But come on. How often does it happen that a strong wind picks up fish out of a river and drops it in your backyard and they're still alive?
Yeah. It says villagers in the district of Chilwa said they heard something heavy falling and found scores of fish with a total weight of 110 pounds. It's not the first such incident in Sri Lanka. In 2012, a case of prawn rain was recorded in the south.
Prawn rain. So they had these little shrimps, prawn, come from the sky. Now they have little fish.
Yeah.
So the wind is very selective of what picks up. Don't you think other things would, if it picked up from a river, other things would be picked up too?
Yeah,
twigs, leaves, sticks, frogs, tadpoles, whatever else grows. I'm just saying, just trying to go to the most logical conclusion here.
Sure. So scientists say that the fish rain usually occurs when swirling whirlwinds over relatively shallow water develops into water spouts and sucks in almost anything in the water, including fish, eels, and even frogs.
Okay, but there's no other mention that eels and frogs and other things fell.
Just fish. The marine life can be carried long distances by buffeting clouds even when the waterspout stops spinning.
Okay, Mr. Scientist. All right.
Villagers say that the fish rain shower took place on Monday with the creatures falling on the village green, roads, and roofs. Some of the fish, each 3 to 5 inches in length, were still alive and were put in buckets of water by villagers who ate them later. And this is the third time this has happened.
But not from the same area. The third time fish or something, prawns, have fallen from the sky, but there's no other mention of anything else. It just doesn't make sense.
Now, if humans fell, would they eat them?
If they didn't have chlamydia. If they didn't fall and they have swollen testicles and scratching themselves, I think it might be all right. In addition to the reported prawn rain of 2012 in the South, there was yellow and red meteor rain. Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. Now they're calling it meteor rain, but yeah. I remember we reported on this when it happened. Because it was raining red rain, like blood from the sky. In fact, I remember now, this article doesn't even touch this. They tested it, and remember, it was bioactive. It was alive. The red rain that came down had life in it.
Yep.
You remember that?
Yes, I do.
You remember?
I remember.
And then they took it to a lab in India
and had it tested.
And you never heard any more about it.
Nope.
Nothing. Nothing. But it had living cells in it. I'm calling Schmitty here. This is Major Schmitty. I got a new one. Schmitty got chlamydia. Schmitty, what's your name? My name is Schmitty Chlamydia. Sign that on your credit card statement. Schmitty Chlamydia. Oh, that would be good to use for a restaurant reservation. Party of 2, Schmitty. Party of 2, Schmitty Chlamydia. Party of 2. Okay.
How much time do we have left?
I don't know, but I just know in addition to the reported prawn rain of 2012 in the South, there was yellow and red meteor rain. The same year, a weather development that is reported still being investigated by the U.S. and British scientists. Fish is a valued commodity in Sri Lanka. That's why they were eating it. Okay, I'm done.
Do I have time?
Yeah, you have all kinds of time. Do what you want.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Because I want to go over the 16 reasons why the United States is going in a hellbasket.
Well, let's go for it. Being as I'm being negative, I want you to be negative.
But I'm going to read off the headlines. It's free trade with communist China, a breakdown of the traditional family, a breakdown of morality, a declining belief in God, the Bible, and the Christian values. That should have been number 1.
Yeah.
Declining freedom and turning away from a constitutional government, a militarization of the police forces nationwide, a one-party political system, corruption of the political system, school system used to indoctrinate children, and a government-controlled mainstream media via newspapers, magazines, radio, movies, and TV, taking control of the internet. Political correctness is out of control, and an entitlement mentality. Foreign companies taking over big business and buying up property in the United States, declaring anyone who doesn't agree with government policies as having a psychiatric disorder, U.S. national debt at president levels, and I think that's it.
Yeah.
And those are all the reasons why the United States is going to hell in a handbasket.
There's a lot of explanations behind each category that you just read. So you're listening, go on our Facebook.
Yep.
Fifth Hook Media. And you can see that. I think it was posted just
you did post it.
And then it's a good article because it has explanations behind each of those topics. And it's like, wow, it's really good. And while you're there, look at the crazy UFO videos. There's
yes,
clip. It has to be true because I found it on YouTube.
Exactly.
Of these recent UFO stuff. There was one that I don't know if it's hoaxy or not. I'm real suspicious of it, where there was a alleged craft or UFO in Afghanistan blowing up a Taliban village.
Yeah. And
they filmed it. It's clear as day, and you can see it blowing this thing up. The problem is the reaction of the guy who videoed it
Yeah.
The videographer didn't seem, to me, it didn't seem it would be a natural reaction if you really saw something like this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he just says like, whoa, get some or something stupid instead of going, oh my God, what is that? Let's run. Mm-hmm. Because you don't know if you're next. So
yeah,
I don't know if that's hoaxy or not. Anyway, I put it up there. And,
and then we have more mysterious booms globally.
Yeah. You know, Justin said he had some booms in Georgia, but he gave the reason for his booms.
Yeah.
He said he had chili.
Funny guy.
The boy's out of control. He's out of control. What else? Some ghost stuff. We posted some ghost stuff.
Yes,
that was
pretty eerie.
Yeah, all these shadow people and little ghost things that have been caught on different cameras and things. Maybe some of them are hoaxy, maybe not, but a lot of them looked alike. The ghost stuff, and very interesting. It's just the portals are open. The evil's rampant. It's everywhere.
Yep, and MERS has come to the United States too. We have a patient in Orlando.
Yes. Yeah, what bozo goes to the Middle East? He's a health professional.
Yep.
Goes there to help them.
Contracts
gets MERS, and then goes, okay, I've been around these people. I've been trying to help them. Perhaps I should take precaution.
Yeah.
And then he gets his dumb butt in an airport and on an airplane and infects whoever else he's spitting on.
Exactly.
What kind of moron are you?
Exactly.
You're an Obamacare moron. Mm-hmm. You have to be.
Yep.
You have to be.
He's a MERS host that came here to infect the United States.
Well, he probably is. I think that's probably the real story. He wasn't a healthcare worker. He was. There was a movie like that we saw.
Yes.
Remember? Where they infected some terrorists.
Yeah. Yep.
And they brought him here, and he was getting real sick. But the whole idea was to release him. I forgot what that was.
I don't remember either.
Was that Bourne Supremacy? One of the Bourne movies?
No.
I just remember the guy in a plastic bubble.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. But
it's a good movie.
Amazing stuff. So in Florida, the hospital, they've sent 22 workers home and all the stuff that could be exposed or infected. It's just, I know it's a mysterious disease that just popped up in the last couple of years. It's like SARS, except it's just like SARS, except we call it MERS. I mean,
what difference does it make?
Yeah.
It's still.
Yeah, but we're injecting Ebola bacterium with alien DNA. Mm-hmm. And then going, what could go wrong? I'm telling you, it's stupid. It's stupid humans.
Yeah.
Stupid. I feel sorry for animals. I do. I look at these animals. I look at dogs. I look at the horses. I look at a stupid ground squirrel. You know, I just look at them and go, God, I feel sorry for you.
I know.
You know, it's not your fault that we're in charge and we're just totally
stupid. Yeah,
it's just unbelievable. So, okay.
Say good night.
Let's say good night. And it's got to be. We got to be close to this, man.
Yes, we are.
It's just hard for me to remain uplifted when you just see all this stuff.
I know. It's difficult.
And I wish I could. There were times I wish I could just put my head in the sand and go, I'm not going to look at it no more. I'm not going to talk about it no more. I'm going to, you know what I'm going to do? Take some golf lessons and then spend my day like a lot of these men around here and just hit a little white ball. That's what I'm going to do. But I can't do that. No. That would drive me insane.
Yep.
I would look around and go, what the hell's wrong with you people? Don't you? There's other stuff to do than to chase a stupid ball? I couldn't do it.
No.
So no matter what I put my hand to, I'm gonna yell and scream. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna yell and scream.
Yes.
I think I'm gonna run for city council. I'd be a good councilman. Lord. Free ice cream for everybody.
Good night, and have a blessed weekend.
Good night.
Lord, now can't you see trouble and evil are surrounding